Hello, and once again welcome to Rad's Retreat, the wood turning section of my YouTube channel. Now then, in these couple of videos or several videos, we're going to be dealing with dust control, lung protection. I've used various respirators over the years. Respirators made by Trend, the air, which one was it? The one that's just a respirator, it's not a positive pressure one. I don't know, air something. But what I also used for about 8 years was the air shield. Oh yeah, that were it. I was using the Air Ace for about 6 to 12 months, but then that decided it was going to malfunction and started letting dust in. I was turning some Padouk one day, or Padouki as some people call it, and when I took the mask off I noticed that there was red dust inside the mask, so obviously it had failed. So I got shut of that one and I got myself the air shield, Trend air shield, and I was using that for probably about 8 years. Got on really well with it. Really good mask. But as most things do these days, modern things, it decided it wasn't going to work one day, so I had to look into getting another one. So rather than just buy another air shield, Trend air shield, which was by then the Air Shield Pro, which I didn't like the look of, by the way. It looked very top heavy, and I'd heard several people say that it was quite uncomfortable to wear as well. So I don't know if that's actually correct or not, but those are the reports I was getting. Also, the batteries weren't lasting as long as they should do. Trend was saying they would last for 8 hours, and they were lasting for less than half of that. But I had that problem with the air shield, the original one. The batteries that came with that were absolutely pathetic. I ended up actually breaking the batteries open and putting my own nickel metal hydride batteries in and resoldering them, and that gave the batteries probably 50% longer between charges. But anyway, rather than just buying an Air Shield Pro, I thought I'd have a look around, and this one here that we're looking at is the one that caught my eye. It's the 3M Versa Flow TR300. It's an industrial positive pressure mask. It's quite expensive. The unit and the head unit together came to about over £700, which is quite a lot of money. But how much is a new pair of lungs these days? You know, you've got to understand that we're talking about serious matters. Also, a number of years ago I was unfortunate and I managed to contract pneumonia, a bad case of it, and half my lung basically ended up very badly scarred and is basically not working anymore. So at the moment I'm working on 1.5 lungs. So, you know, I knew it was time to start looking after them. The first thing I did was stop smoking. That was well before I started wood turning. So I stopped smoking. Then when I started wood turning, I realised that I'd need a good respirator. Anyway, getting back to it. This is the one I chose. It's a very expensive alternative to the Air Shield Pro, but in my eyes it's worth it. It's very light to wear. The actual head unit, I mean, this section is on a belt and this goes round your waist. Then there's this pipe, which by the way is extremely floppy and very light, and it doesn't hinder your head movement at all. I will say that when I ordered it, I was sort of, you know, wondering if it would sort of add resistance to your head movement, but it doesn't, not at all. Not at all, so don't be worried about that. There's various head units you can get for it. There's this one. There's one that's actually a bump cap. It's like, I can explain it. On this one it's got cutouts, on that one it hasn't, and it is actually resistant to falling objects as well, which obviously I had no need for. But it's a very lightweight head unit, and also I don't think you'll be able to see it, but in there's a flap. Now in the winter it's not a good idea to have cold air blowing over your eyes all the time or over your face. It can get quite uncomfortable, so you can move this flap and it directs the air onto the inside of the visor. In the summer you alter it and it blows the air, part of it down the inside of the visor and then most of it over your face. Now I would say it's probably 80% on your face, 20% on the visor, and it gives you a lovely cooling effect, you know, in the summer. It really is. On days like today, a really warm day, it's a really nice feature. As I said before, it's very lightweight, much lighter than the Air Shield Pro, much lighter. And most of the weight is on your waist, so you don't notice it anyway. Also, the filters that it uses are cartridge filters. They're very well, not very cheap, but they're very cheap for what they do. And I do believe they actually filter a little bit higher, to a higher degree than what the Air Shield Pro does. The thing on the bottom here that you can see is the battery unit, which I will endeavour to take off for you, if I can just grab the camera correctly. I have to do this with one hand, which isn't easy. There we go. That's the battery unit. This is the heavy duty long life battery. Now they say that this will last 10 hours. Now I've tested it and it actually lasts longer than 10 hours. I've had 10 hours of continuous use out of this. I've had 12 hours of continuous use out of it. Okay? There's also a nice little feature. If you're wondering how much power's left in your battery, you press that and there you go. And by the way, this hasn't been charged for 2 months, 3 months, and it's kept its charge. You see? That hasn't, this particular unit, this battery hasn't had a charge for, I would say, probably 2.5 to 3 months at least. And look, it's still got, you know, 4/5 of its charge left. So a really good system. If you'll just bear with me while I put this back on. In fact, I'll end this video here and then I'll start another video, because there's quite a few features in this thing that I want to show you. So I'll end this video here, guys, and I hope you'll join me on the next one, which will look at some more features regarding the 3M Versa Flow TR300. I hope you'll join me for that. Take care. Bye bye.